Alright folks, what's happening? Jkun Prime here with another Halo video, and this one's going to be a little different. We're not going to be talking about the Halo games this time. We're actually going to talk about Halo, the live-action TV series that's going to be showing up on Paramount Plus here in the next couple months. Now, this is a series I have been heavily anticipating for a very, very long time, and this thing actually has some track history to it. It was supposed to be spearheaded by Spielberg. As far as I know, it's still Spielberg that's behind the reins on it. And it was originally going to be a movie, and then it was going to be a Showtime series, and now it's made its way over to Paramount Plus. And I will be the first one to admit, I am very, very, very guarded with this because the Halo franchise is very near and dear to me. I know I haven't been playing Halo Infinite a lot, but that has nothing to do with the game series itself. It more has to do with just like cheaters and aimbotters online and just not making the online experience very enjoyable. But I've always been very, very drawn to the lore and the story and the characters of Halo. They're very, very important to me. So I'm going to be a little skeptical here. I'm probably going to nitpick, just let you know ahead of time, because if you mess with the meat and potatoes of this story, I am not going to be a happy camper. But as always, if you enjoy the content, please hit that subscribe button and tap the bell for notifications. That way you always know when I have a new video for you. And if you want to stay up to date with any Halo, Fortnite, Destiny 2 content, I got you covered. Just stay tuned here to the channel, and we also stream all the time over on twitch.tv/JkunPrime. And we also have an ever-growing Discord as well. All the links to all the socials and everything will be down in the description below. Without any further ado, let's check out this trailer and see what we can find out.
You. Humanity's best weapon. Master Chief, huh?
So who are you?
Master Chief was enhanced and trained for one purpose. To win this war. He and the other Spartans are our only effective weapons against the Covenant.
Okay, the Elite looks good.
Lethal, upgradable, and most importantly, controllable.
Covenant forces appear to be excavating some kind of object. When I touched the object, I felt something. I felt different.
What they did to us makes you numb.
And you just decided to help me. Why would a Spartan do that?
What does one do with a superhuman you're not sure you can trust?
Is that supposed to be Lord Hood?
Mr. Chief, I'm Cortana.
I don't know about that one. We'll talk about it after the trailer.
Master Chief recovered something.
Sacred ring. Halo.
Humans surrender to the Covenant.
Cortana, I'm gonna need you now. Find the Halo. Win the war.
Huh. Okay. So let's go ahead and break this down. Let's go ahead and break this down because, like, I noticed some things, and then I also noticed some other things. Okay. All right. So let's take a look here. So the Spartans were originally created to help quell the Separatists, the people that didn't want to go along with what the UNSC was doing. Usually Outer Rim colonies, people very far away from, like, Earth type of deal. So I like the fact that, like, with first thing in the trailer, you just see him just rip a turret and just go to work with it. I do like that. Now, the question is, all right, who is she? Who is she? Because he's never really had any type of, like, just, like, female... Well, not even female, but just civilian companionship. He's obviously had female companionship with Cortana, but, like, some type of civilian companionship. Spartans were finite. They were elusive. Like, they weren't around a lot. At least in common circles. Like, there wasn't that many of them. So, whoever she is has me curious. And I can only assume that little mountain city or whatever that we saw is just like, it was a separatist city. Now, these people walking with John, John's team was Blue Team, and it consisted of Sam, who died during the fall of Reach, attacking the Covenant ship, and then the rest were Kelly, Linda, and Fred. Was it Fred? Frederick? Something like that? Yeah, I think so. So I'm wondering if that's supposed to be Blue Team. Now, alright, we got a very, very good look at an elite here. That looks good. That looks really, really good. I had a feeling like the mandibles were not going to translate very well. But that's impressive. That looks really, really good. Warthogs look good.
Upgradable.
What else do we got?
Most
Yeah.
importantly-
See, okay. So this is something else that I'm very, very impressed with. So Spartans, compared to a regular human, Spartans are like gigantic. They're like 8 feet tall. And they still portrayed this perfectly. That, like, yeah, he's big to a human, but even a Spartan seems small to members of the Covenant, more specifically the Hunters, the Elites, the Brutes. They look enormous. And they portrayed this perfectly, where the Elites are kind of just like towering over him. I think that's really, really good attention to detail, and I really appreciate that.
Controllable.
Now, they are right, the Spartans were kind of controllable. Now, here is pet peeve number 1. That clearly strikes me as a Forerunner artifact. Or if you really want to get down to it, it looks like a firing index for a Halo ring. Where you had like the little diamond thing, and then the index would actually just pop up out of the top. Now, is this supposed to be an indicator that he is on a Halo ring? I don't think so. I think this is just some type of Forerunner, like, temple, or it's some type of dig site or something that just so happened to house a firing index. But I do have a small gripe with this, because John had no access to Forerunner technology whatsoever until he was on the Halo ring in the first game. So if they're trying to shoehorn that in, you better explain the hell out of it. Or else this is going to fall apart, because you're taking away big moments of the story. Like, John had no idea what Forerunner technology was. He didn't know what the Forerunners were until he went to the Halo ring, and 343 Guilty Spark had to explain it to him along with Cortana. So let's keep going here.
Something felt different.
Yeah, that definitely looks like a firing index.
What they did to us makes you numb.
Okay, so is that guy supposed to be, like... I don't think he's a Spartan. I think he may be one of the rebels, but we'll just have to wait and see, because that definitely makes it sound like he's talking about, like, what Halsey did to them as children in the Spartan 2 program. But I don't think he's a Spartan.
Do that?
What does one do with a superhuman you're not sure you can...
Now, I could very well be wrong here, but that definitely strikes me as Lord Hood. But at the same time, he could not be Lord Hood, because Lord Hood was actually rather fond of John. Like, not in like a father-son or family or friend sense, but like Lord Hood liked Spartans. Like, he knew that they were necessary.
Can trust.
Now, Dr. Halsey, like, I think that's good casting for Dr. Halsey. Here's the big gripe I have. It's a small one. It's a very, very small one. But when you've gone 20 years of seeing Cortana a certain way, was it too much to just make her a purple construct? Did you have to humanize her? Like, I'll admit this is a small gripe. It's a very, very small gripe. Like, I'll get over it. But did you have to make her look human? Like, even the weapon in Halo Infinite had a purple hue to them. Was it too much to just Photoshop some purple on her?
Cortana.
I hope she's sassy like Cortana.
Master Chief recovered something.
Sacred ring.
Yeah, that definitely looks like a firing index. The Covenant cruisers look good. Now, who is this?
Humans. Surrender to the Covenant.
Okay. So here was a big part that kind of made me curious. Is at first glance I thought that was the Flood, but I'm not sure. It could just be I keep forgetting the name, like the actual native name of the Hunters, but the Hunters, the big burly shielded looking Covenant, they're not actually a body. It's a collection of like worms that form a body inside an armor. And I'm wondering if that's what those are and not necessarily the Flood. The Flood, I feel like it would be, for lack of a better term, it would look more chaotic than what I'm seeing right here. But I think these may be Hunters instead of Flood. And then
Cortana.
She said surrender to the Covenant. I'm not sure, like, is she gonna be like an emissary for the prophets? Like, what's she gonna be? Because, like, the Covenant didn't take prisoners. Like, humanity was like a blight. It was a cancer that they felt they needed to cut out because they were the rightful heirs to the Forerunners. So I don't know what to feel on that one. Like, I'm gonna have to see the series before I pass any judgment on it. But like, that looks like her standing there with the prophets. I'm assuming, let's see, the prophet of truth, the prophet of regret. I forgot the third prophet, but like, he died in Halo 2 right along with regret. And could that be the Arbiter? Like, that's could that be the Arbiter? I mean, there's been more than one Arbiter, so it may not be the Arbiter we know, but could that be an Arbiter?
Humans. Surrender to the Covenant.
Cortana, I'm gonna need...
Okay, so let's take a gander here. That's an EOD helmet. That is June's helmet. I forget the code name of it, but that's definitely June's helmet from Halo Reach. And I almost want to say that's a recon helmet. The brim on the top of the helmet's a little too forward, but it definitely has that little jutting out bit. Like, that almost looks like a Halo Infinite helmet, like the recon variant from Halo Infinite. But is this supposed to be Blue Team? Like, is that Fred, Linda, and Kelly? I have so many questions. I have so many questions. I cannot wait for this series. I need it to be out and be out now.
Need you now.
The Pelicans look great. Yeah, I really don't think he's a Spartan.
Find the Halo. Win the war.
So March 24th. Oh, 2 months. 2 months to wait for this. Oh, this is gonna suck. That wait is gonna kill me. But I mean, just at a glance, like, it looks really, really good. It really looks good. And my nitpicking is just coming from the fact that, like, I am a gigantic fan of this series, of its story, of its characters. So I need to see these characters in this story done justice. Like, I'm begging and pleading with Paramount and Spielberg, if you're behind this as well. I know it's pretty much done at this point. It's most definitely in post-production. But, like, please let this show be good. I need this show to be good. But I'm going to kick it over to you guys down in the comments section. Let me know what you think about the Halo trailer down in the comments below. And thank you everyone for watching. I appreciate your support. And I'll see you guys next time.